The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to an iSuperSpeedway Friday Night Championship evening under the lights in Daytona Beach, Florida. Cars are heading trackside for the fourth and final race on the IROC Championship, 40 laps to determine who's going to become the fourth champion of the iSuperSpeedway Race of Champions here tonight from the Daytona International Speedway. We're happy to have you right here with us at LSRTV and iRacing Live. I'm Pasoka with Andy Kessler, topside with you, and as always, our producer Cisco Scarmouze downstairs. Andy, we're ready to rock and roll. We've got 3 down. We've got just 1 to go. We're back in the Xfinity cars for the second time on the season. And tonight also, we're heading out our first piece of hardware here tonight, the main event. Later on down the road just a little bit, but we have a championship to hand out here in just a couple of moments. Seth the Merchant up by just 4 points to Christian Peterson.
Yeah, it's been a great IROC season, and of course, with only 4 races for these drivers, it keeps the point standing so close all the way through. We got 5 guys, at least 6 maybe, that have an opportunity to come out of here as a champion, depending on where other guys finish as well. But you got to look at the top of the board. Seth the Merchant coming off his iSuperSpeedway Series championship last season, and then now has an opportunity to get an IROC Series championship as well too. So you got a guy on his outside here tonight in the front row as well too. Christian Peterson, just fresh off of his Truck Series championship 1 week ago. So a lot of champions in this race, and that's why it's called the IROC, and it should be a fun one here tonight to end the season.
The numbers get to line up for the most part with the drivers start on track. Let's take a look trackside at your LSRTV starting grid. Brandon Jaburko, the number 2 Chevrolet, going to roll from pole position tonight in the number 2 machine. So everybody going to be relegated 1 spot back. Your provisional pole sitter in the number 1 car not going to make the start here in tonight's contest. Right now to the outside of the front row, he'll start in second. Ronnie Wofford starting third tonight. Frank Basilia fourth. Christian Peterson rounds out your top 5.
Shane McEachin in that 7 car will start 6th. 7th goes to Matt Quick. Rod Flagg will start 8th. Chris Passini in that 9th spot. Josh Ball 10th. And then Seth the Merchant, Corey Henry, Alex Hallinar will round out the 13-car field. A small field, but it should be a good race here. The best of the best of the iSuperSpeedway Series right here in this race here tonight, Evan. And I'm looking forward to it. The final one, crowning a couple champions tonight. It's a good start for the doubleheader.
And not only is this championship fight that we're looking at right now between Seth the Merchant, 29 points at the top of the pile with a win, to Christian Peterson, 4 points back with a win in second, but you got Matt Quick within 6, Chris Passini within 8, and Josh Ball within 9. Anything can happen here with 13 cars on track. We're happy to have you with us at LSRTV and iRacing Live. The pace car makes a sharp left-hand turn down and away. Green flag and underway for the final time on the season from Daytona to turn number 1. Brandon Jaburko, in search of his first IROC win on the year, leads us in.
Yeah, slow start it looked like on the outside for Ray Rittenauer. They'll stack that top side up just a bit. They'll start to form their way back up, though, now is the 5 of Frank Basilia. Giving the push on the outside lane. 3 cars strong now, and they're making a bid for the lead down the backstretch.
Side by side they go down the Daytona Super Stretch to turn number 3 outside of the racetrack. Right now, a fantastic push from Basilia, and he'll get the spot as he slides down to the inside, and he'll take over. The point question is, can he lead lap number 1? Because that 5 of Basilia wants to challenge for his own. It's 2 Fords side by side to complete lap number 1, and the outside steals it. How about that barely at the start finish on it. That one going to go. Rittenauer on the inside just fights back by less than 1/1000th of a second. We get the bonus point for leading the first lap of this race, but that just shows you that going to the inside, which is where everybody goes when they get to clean air, may not be the best place to be. 5 topside doing a good job challenging down the back for the second time.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, obviously. Josh Ball just behind him in that bright purple machine you see there on your screen. Doing a great job in that 11 to stay right up on that back bumper. 4 cars strong, that's plenty up on the top side to allow that top side to get the advantage. The problem is Brandon Chaburko all over that back bumper of Ray Rittenauer. He's keeping that top side honest, at least for the time being. They're going to get their opportunity here, though, this time to lead a lap. Give it to the 5 that time, Frank Basilia. Now, top of the boards is basically nowhere to go for the rest of the field. Chris Bassini in the 10, trying to look maybe some 3 wide action there, almost forcing his way to the inside. And yeah, he does just that. Josh Ball now stuck to the outside all by himself. He'll fall to the back.
3 wide they go as the 11 machine drops back on that third most lane. Meanwhile, the 2 of Brandon Chaburko going to take advantage of a little bit of stalled out momentum for the outside of the racetrack. He'll jump up, get a big push down to turn 3, and just like that, he's able to clear the 3 car on the inside of the racetrack. Not going to jump down though right away. Hangs on that outside of the racetrack. The push still for the 5 of Basilia, and both of them, now that the 2 didn't jump ship go right to the bottom, they're both going to be able to use this draft all the way into turn 4 to turn 1. It looked like they were both going to get clear, but that 3 of Rittenauer finds some help from Ronnie Wofford as they go 3 wide again. 2 car can't hang out enough to allow the 5 car to come down with him. Chaburko to the point, working both lanes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 3 wide action we got just behind these guys. How about Josh Ball by himself using the side draft? He'll get it all the way to the front. Chaburko now going to go up to stall him out. He'll go 3 wide, 4 to lead into turn number 3. I'll tell you what, I think the 11 was better off by himself now. The top side with Chaburko coming up there kind of stalled out the momentum. They're going to have to fight back now on the outside. They'll get the momentum here as they continue 3 wide action. It is for second.
We talked about how these Xfinity cars, when we saw them for the first time at the IROC Championship, we started with the COTs. A change in the draft model forced us to switch to these Xfinity Camaros and Mustangs, and now you're seeing what we talked about last time out, how well these cars work in the draft. 3 wide consistently through the corner. The 5 going to slide up off the exit. 10 going to force the middle. And 4 wide down the Daytona super stretch. Here comes Chris Bassini for the point.
What a move by the 10 right there. Stuck his nose right in there. He's going to make all those guys behind him wish they were thinking of something else right there. The 10 all the way to the lead, probably from about, well, it was about the 5th spot it was the last time by, so he'll look to take the lead right here. He'll lead this lap as the 13 now. Corey Henry, who started 12th. Oh, there goes the 3. Ray Rittenauer now through the grass, into the wall hard there on the inside of the racetrack. And we stay green flag racing, single car on the front stretch.
That's going to break up that pack at the front of the field. The 3 was pushing hard into the tri-oval. Got the left side tires on the double yellow line. And on the front stretch at Daytona, you're going right down to the flat there. It's not very forgiving. He pancaked the front of that car, nose first into the inside fence. As you mentioned, though, no caution because that happened off of the racing surface, and it takes your leaders absolutely no time to get right back at each other. 3 wide, 2 rows deep again. The 5 and the 2 this time lead the charge for that third most lane. And coming up the center, Corey Henry to the point, 6 laps in.
I'm telling you what, I like the speed I'm seeing out of the 11 here tonight. By himself on the 3rd lane a couple of laps ago, and then just the amount of speed he's been able to carry through the corners. He pushed the 10 of Chris Bassini to the lead. Now he pushes the 13 to the lead. Now look at him hang on to the middle now. Usually the sucker hole there in the middle, and he's going to get the job done here now and force his way as they continue 3 wide at the front of the field. And how about that 5, Frank Basilia, battling hard. He's got Chaburko now to his rear bumper, and they're going to stall out just a bit there in the corner entry. So I tell you what, I like the way that 11's driving here tonight. Pretty aggressive, but he's got a lot of speed in that race car as well.
There's a lot of movement in that middle lane. Again, the 5, the 2, they can use that outside fence to dictate where they run. 3 wide that time across the start-finish line. The top 5 drivers within 1/10 of a second of each other. This lead pack, 8 cars deep, within 3/10. They stay 3 wide, 2 rows deep, 13-10 to the inside, the 11 to 4 in the middle, and a 5 and a 2 on the outermost lane of the racetrack. But it's the guys in the middle who can't really use the double yellow line or use the outside fence to gauge their line. They can very quickly become the pinball all. In the middle of all of that, you see them slide high and slide low. It's very tricky for them to be able to squeeze their way through. And look at the 2-car. Chiburko, not surprised at all that he tries to go immediately for the middle lane to the third-most. Doesn't work that time, and we're single file for a brief moment.
Yeah, we are. Chiburko, I think he was just having problems pushing Frank Busilia on that high side, so it basically switches positions there. He'll go to the point now on the top side, try to get that help from that 5 cars and continue down into turn number 1 and some more 3. Oh, how about the apron for the 13? He's going to check that bottom side up. Looks like they're going to hang on to it, but damage to the 13 and the 10, and that's going to put them off the race. They're going to slide now down to the apron, stay off the racetrack. It looks like we'll stay green flag racing.
Yeah, they both keep it off of the fence. Again, second time tonight. We've seen drivers get on the yellow line. It doesn't work. You saw it happen earlier with Rittenauer out of the 13 and as well behind the second car that got out of shape. And it looked like they were both getting up at the fence, but both the 13 Henry, the 10 of Piscini really got hard on the brakes to slow those cars down. And we stay green once again, but take 2 more drivers out of that equation in the battle for the race lead. So now that lead pack sits just 6 cars deep with single file behind Brandon Chiburko, Frank Basilio, Ronnie Watford, Josh Ball inside of the top 4. And you could also throw Seth the Merchant and Matt Quick again into that conversation. There are a couple of car lengths off, though, about to catch up in just a moment. There is a pack of cars that has dropped well off the pace. Corey Henry, Chris Basidi, obviously for the issues, but Shane McKeechin, Christian Peterson, Rod Flagg are intentionally off of the lead pack. I'm not sure that they intentionally wanted to be 27 seconds off of the leaders, but they did intentionally drop back. It's a long way back to the front, though, from way back there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Evan. I mean, maybe they wanted to hang back and avoid the wrecks. They've done that. Problem is, you're not going to make up 26 seconds on the field in this short amount of distance for this race either. I mean, just 40 laps into this race, in this race, and more trouble there in turn 2, the 11 and the 4. Making some contact, possibly a touch of the apron for the 11 of Josh Ball, and that's going to send him and Rodney Watford further and further back, and it's just going to allow now only 4 cars to battle for the lead there side by side into 3.
Yeah, that's immediately what I looked for, but it looked like Ball was a little bit indecisive on which lane he wanted. Came down, the 4 was there. Another great display of driving skill by the 11 of 4, and also the 3 machine got checked up behind him. Also, Ray Rittenauer with a lap down car. Using these leaders to at least maintain that lucky dog position. And just because we continue to lose cars from the lead draft and now the 3rd, I won't call it an incident, it really was, but no caution, so we'll go with near incident. The number now down to 4 drivers in the lead pack, and that is not affecting the racing at all. It might make it a little bit harder to go 3 wide, but they're still 2 wide and pushing down the Daytona Super Stretch. They go. How about a little bit of door banging? 198 to turn 3.
It has Brandon Chiburko trying to get the side draft going, trying to get some sort of an advantage on that outside lane. Problem is just the 2 cars on either lane. It's not going to really bode well for either line. I think they're going to pretty much be stalemated like they are right now, 2 by 2. They don't have that extra car in either lane to really give that extra little couple miles an hour that they need to get the advantage on either lane. So it looks like for the time being, this is what we're going to see, some side-by-side action. But how about the 12 Seth the Merchant after starting 11th in this race here tonight? Opportunity to win the championship, and somehow he's avoided those 3 near misses we've had, and he's found himself now in this front group here in the top 4 and looking for more now down the back straightaway. He's going to push that 2 car to the lead. Both of them going to clear the 5.
So that puts Basilia back into the number 3 position. Out of the drivers in this lead pack, all but Seth the Merchant started inside of the top 10. You want to talk about big championship implications. Tonight was looking really good for Christian Peterson early. Came into this 4 points behind at time and still at this moment by the live points championship leader Seth the Merchant. 4 points back. But the Merchant started back in 11th spot as they go 3 wide in the center of the quarter. Peterson was P5, so at the drop of the green flag, he would have had the championship lead. Problem is, the Merchant's been able to avoid issues, and he's on the inside, tracing a double yellow line on the innermost lane. In the 3 wide fight down the Daytona Super Stretch to turn 3, he'll lose all the spots in that battle. But again, because he's this far up, and Peterson, we mentioned that pack that he's in now 29 seconds back. The strategy play obviously was to stay back and stay out of trouble. But if you don't get a caution in this race, 29 seconds is an impossible gap to make up.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's unfortunate, too. I mean, some very fast drivers in that group as well. So, plus the drivers that are not quite that far back, but still out of the contention right now currently. I like what I'm seeing up front, though, too, with the 8. Matt Quick doing a great job. And, just to speak of what he's done so far in the 3 races, only one top 5, not even a victory, but he found himself tonight coming into the race 6 points out of the championship hunt with an opportunity to win it here tonight, too. So that's pretty cool to see Matt Quick having such a good season this in the IROC in 4.
Oh, contact for the 2, sideways and out of shape. Brandon Chaburko gonna spin coming out of turn 4. Basilia into the inside wall as well. Matt Quick and Seth the Virgin gotta check their cars up and out of nowhere under the caution. 15 laps in, they were side by side for the point coming off of the final turn. We'll get a second look at the LSRTV replay. It looks like the 8 machine was thinking of going 3 wide, Andy. Matt Quick, Chaburko saw that, made a move to the outside, and this is as they're coming down off of the banking. The 2 then tries to go back to the middle lane, I think. And when you make that quick right-left movement on the car, especially coming off of the banking where the car really unloads and it gets really loose, he just lost the handle on it. And he takes out the 5, getting the worst of that one. Obviously damage on DeMerchant and the 8 machine quick as well. But Chaburko and Frank Basilia, the guys who pick up the most damage. And talking about that 29-second gap, well, it's now erased. Pit service, I imagine, going to be up on the tab for this caution flag, and it'll be enough to get us, I believe, through the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely should be enough to get us to the end, but I guess those guys towards the back, Peterson, Flag, McKeechin, Josh Ball, Ray Rittenauer, all those guys can breathe a sigh of relief, I think, at this point, because they have the opportunity now to catch back up, get on the same sequence as these drivers, and I'll tell you what, they got lucky. If they can't hang back on this next restart, they're definitely going to have to stay up in the pack right here. So a few guys looking to get some damage repaired this time as pit road is open and head that way, all led by the 2 of Brandon Chaburko, and with the damage to slide through the grass, he was able to keep that car straight, not even spin out, take over or keep the race lead here as they head down pit road. And like you said, it should be 4 tires of fuel for all these drivers to get the opportunity, the free opportunity here under caution to get service done the first and probably only time we'll see them on pit road for this race here.
And for a lot of guys, I think also getting damage repair is going to be high on the priority list. Brandon Chaburko, again, was really, although he was at the start of where all of that happened, really didn't get much damage out of it. He'll use his quick fix. He has a brand new Chevy Camaro coming off of the pit lane. He goes with just right side tires only, tops it off on Sunoco race fuel. Not going to put him in the lead, though. A couple of drivers stay out. That Honorod Flag is going to go to the point in this race, and Ray Rittenauer stays out from 1 lap down to take the lucky dog, and he'll put all 12 cars back on the lead lap for the ensuing restart, just a couple of laps shy at the halfway point. It's the final race of the IROC Season 4 Championship, and as we pace for the first time on the evening from Daytona Beach, Florida, we'll take this opportunity, take a quick yellow of our own, step aside, and be back when we drop the American Ethanol green flag for the restart in just a moment. You watch LSR TV's continuing coverage of the iSuperSpeedway.com racing series on iRacing Live.
Did you know that Lion's sense of vision is so powerful, it actually enables nearby creatures to see better? Here we see lions assisting the offspring of others, while their parents are elsewhere in the wild. Brilliant, isn't it? Making the wild kingdom look much better indeed. Do good, be a lion.
He's typing! He's typing! He's got it! He's got it! It's a new line of code! I'll get my code. Sorry.
Back live from Daytona International Speedway for the IROC Season 4 Championship for the iSuperSpeedway.com Racing Series. Happy to have you with us tonight on LSRTV and iRacing Live. Again, we're going to put 19 laps down, take 21 to go in our first championship fight on the night. Once we crown this IROC 4 championship, we'll hop back on the air just a couple of minutes afterwards at 10 o'clock Eastern Time for the main event, and that is the championship round, the Season 6 iSuperSpeedway Championship. So there's plenty of hardware to go out tonight. We're happy that you're tuning in with us. We hope to see you throughout the course of the evening. Ron Flag stays out after the first caution flag so far on the evening. The 9 car getting take over the race lead, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way back to 11th position. 11th of the 12 cars that started still on the lead lap, run in the order at which they came out of the pit lane. Brandon Chuberko to the outside of the front row for the restart.
That's going to be a great one here. I kind of like the call by Rod Flag to stay out on this as pace car comes off. He's got the opportunity here. Green flag in the air, and he had to do something. 10 points out of the championship hunt. Obviously has a mathematical shot at winning this thing, but needs a lot of help. Needs to win the race as well, too. So I like the call here at this point, halfway through this race here, to stay out. Done a good job. Problem is he's going to have to stay up there. Chuberko going to take over the race lead on the restart. Not sure if the 9 was sleeping a little bit there, getting back to the throttle 11, but nonetheless, the 2 to the point here, and the top side struggling just a bit off turn 2.
And if it was by design and it worked out good, but the 10 really got the short end of the straw on that one. Chuberko jumps up to block the lane. It's going to be a valiant move by Corey Henry. Third lane, it absolutely can work, just not by yourself. And as he goes up there, maybe it would have been a better decision to just stay in line behind the 2 at Chuberko. He'll slide all the way to the back. Meanwhile, for the inside, Peterson jumps that line. Again, he is trying to challenge Seth the Merchant for the championship that time by. The Merchant scored in the number 3 spot. Peterson in second. That still gives a 3-point advantage to the driver. The 12 as they go 3 wide again.
Yeah, still an advantage, but this is what Peterson needed. He had no shot when he was 29 seconds back. He's got a shot at this now. Here, looking for the race lead. A pretty good draft down the back straightaway, and why not? With Brandon Chuberko to your back bumper, gives you a great opportunity with the draft to get yourself to the front, and he's doing a good job right now. Bottom side, though, Rod Flag, got to give him a lot of credit. Hanging on to it right now. Seth the Merchant trying to give him the push to try to keep that bottom side going, keep the momentum up as a 7 drops back. That's Shane McKeechin. Pushed up to the outside. He's going to fall way back now and put himself closer to the tail end of the top 10. And he'll slot in line now on the bottom. How about Christian Peterson getting a lap lead right there and going to try to take it over. Not quite clear, though, in turn number 1. Bottom side fighting back.
At the inside, you see the 9 to 12 working together and a little bit of a gap back to the 5 for Frank Basilia. That's what's going to hurt him on the straightaways. Meanwhile, it's a 4-car freight train topside. Chris Spacini elects to either try to start that outside lane or just jump at a line, but it was enough of a push to put the 6 of Peterson back in front of the 9. He jumps down, Ron Flag going to get on the apron. He'll get turned by the 12 and up into traffic.
Yeah, right into it. The 12 to Seth the Merchant looking for the championship. Heavy damage to that car. He was involved. Right side damage. Hopefully he can get that fixed, but probably the best time for the 6 car of Christian Peterson to be where he was. Perfect timing up front. Took over the race lead as everything happened right behind him.
And you look again, left side tires get on that double yellow line. We've seen that now at least 3 times tonight. And at Talladega, you can get away with it just a little bit. Because you have obviously the high amount of banking, but there is a little bit of a leeway where the apron has a slightly banked area before it goes right down to the flat. That is not the case here at Daytona. You go right from the banking of 31 degrees to the flat at 0, and that really upsets the balance of the car. Ron Flag barely got on it. He got sideways. We saw this happen a couple of times earlier where they were able to hang on it. This time, though, the 12 was so close on the bumper, there was nothing really that Seth the Merchant could do, and it caused us an accident. Now, the interesting thing to look at here is that's the second incident that Seth the Merchant has been involved with, Andy, and that would probably spell disaster for that number 12 team in his hope for a championship fight. But I do believe when he came down to the pit road that last time, he did not utilize his one and only quick fix, which means he still has the option to get that car fixed up like brand new. He comes down pit road this time. If that is the case, that could be a championship winning strategy call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if he didn't, the damage is probably good enough that he can get some of it or most of it fixed on pit road and get back out there. Maybe not be able to lead a lane, but at least get himself up there to where he can keep that 6 car in sight and possibly keep this championship in his favor. So coming down pit road, they'll get service done to those cars. And like I said, hopefully for that 12, it looks like 4-tire stop for him. And I'll tell you what, it looks like he got that thing picks up pretty good right there for the 12. So Set the Merchant still in this one past the halfway point.
I believe that is going to be his quick fix call down from the pit lane. And again, I talked about how he really didn't have that much damage from the first accident, but it definitely was beat up, and he gets the quick fix clearly this time in. So I do believe that now means that he no longer has that option for the rest of the race. We saw Brandon Chiburko come down. He used up his quick fix the first time down pit road, and we always talk about hypotheticals. If Chiburko was in that accident, he could sit on pit road and get the damage fixed the old school way, if you will, manually wait for the damage to be repaired, but the car would never get back to 100%. We talk about this a lot in the endurance events, and it may ring true later on tonight when we go racing here at Daytona for 250 miles in the finale in Florida, 100 laps around Daytona International Speedway. But I think that it was a smart call by the Merchant. Don't take it. Damage wasn't that bad, and now it allows him to. It saves you through one incident. There's nothing that says, though, as we come this time by to take 16 to go, you're not going to get involved in another one. So you still have to be extremely cautious. You're not in the clear yet, but you do get a little bit of an extra life out of it.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for something else to happen in this one here tonight. I mean, it only takes about half a corner, half a lap to really get things wound up. So you got to tread on some water, but at the same time, you got to be aggressive. I think the more if he just kind of sits back and lets things unfold in front of him, he's got a better opportunity to get involved in an accident again. So I think for the 12, he's just got to do what he's done the best when he won his iSuperSpeedway championship and what he's done so far in the first 3 races here in the IROC series. He's just got to be aggressive. He's got to get his way up to the front, and just like the 6 did, he's up at the front. He missed everything there on that wreck, so the 12 has to do the same here. He's got some spots to make up, and if he can get around these guys and get himself up towards the front, I think he has a great opportunity.
Lights on top of the pace car expected to go out this time by. If they do, it'll put us in a good position to go back at a green flag conditions with about 14 laps still to go here from Daytona. Going to take 15 to go the next time by. Starting to get into the situation where we know that these IROC races do not last long. I'm a big fan of the 40-lap distance because we briefly talked about it, and it was fairly evident when we saw that first caution, Andy, 16 laps in, that you do need one pit stop to get to the end. It is a short race, but it is also a race in which, the length is long enough where if we were to go green all the way, you would have to pit. And we have seen that be a factor a couple of times on the year. Now that that's no longer a question, you're looking at a place where you can't really fit in more than 2 caution flags if you wreck on these restarts. There's not a lot of time. A caution flag cycle going to knock off 4 to 5 laps, and if you see a yellow inside of the final 5, you don't get an opportunity to go back green. So if you thought the 3 and 4 wide that we saw at one point earlier in the race were exciting, the sense of urgency is definitely rising, and you really can't sit around. A lot of guys, it's not really a safe position to be in once we moved on from the 2-car tandem to be the leader. A lot of guys in the 2-car tandem like to be the car in the back to step at a line, but also a lot of people felt rather comfortable being in the front. When you're racing in a pack, the front is not really a good place to be, in all honesty, because we see the outside and even a third lane a lot of the time make moves when a guy in the bottom can't do anything. I don't think you can really wait to make a move. You just have to go for it and just hope that maybe it falls in your direction tonight.
Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be. We just had a what they call a rookie race here just before this one, and I was grateful enough to be involved with that one. But you know what? Honestly, my whole thing right from the get-go, I wasn't trying to stir things up or try 3 wide or 2 wide or anything. I stuck to the bottom, stayed in that bottom lane the whole time, the whole race, able to dodge a couple of wrecks, and then ultimately got a 4th-place finish out of it. So, you got to be patient in these races. Not a lot of cars, but when you do get into a wreck like we saw, it involves pretty much the majority of the field when you have a small field like this. So it's tough. You want to be aggressive. You want to get up to the front. You want to win these races. These races mean so much. And when your points battle's as close as it is coming down to the end, every spot matters. And for guys like the 12 of Set the Merchant now a little bit further back, while his partner and teammate there, Christian Peterson, who was chasing him 4 points back, now leads this thing. That 12's got to be thinking of that in his mind as well, too. He's got to get on the wheel here. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to make the moves. He's got to get in that correct lane at the right time in order to make up a spots, at least so he can see that back bumper, that 6. Keep him honest.
They come down up off of turn 4. Could it be for the final time on the evening? The American Childhood Cancer Organization, a Ford Mustang GT pace car, going to make the sharp left-hand dive down to the safety of pit road. And they come into the tri-oval to the restart box. American Ethanol, green flag flies back underway. 14 laps to go.
Good jump right there. Kind of interesting what happened on that restart right there, but everybody able to keep it straight, keep it going in the right direction, and get up to speed as they jam through the gears right now. Josh Ball, the 11 now, in that 4th spot, a second in line on the outside, trying to give Brandon Chaburko the push. Like I said in the beginning of this race, that 11 showed a lot of speed, whether he was in the draft or even by himself, and we saw him taking spots away all by himself on that 3rd line right now. So we'll keep an eye on him as this race goes on here. Side by side, 3 rows deep now. They run here into turn number 3. Set the Merchant back in that 12. Get up on the wheel. He's got the 8 right now, right behind him. Matt Quick trying to give him the push.
Yeah, Matt Quick, somewhat of a quiet night, you could say, here tonight behind the wheel of the number 8 machine, and he's hanging out in a tricky spot because he needs really that push from behind to not lose touch with that lead draft. Another driver at a bad spot, not only Ray Rittenauer with him, but Frank Basilio with damage is not going to be able to catch them with the damage he has on his car. He's not going to be able to challenge for the championship. That was basically mathematically improbable with 12 points to the deficit, but he does want to try to maybe get a top 5 at a championship. The damage on that car may not allow him to do so. It's 7 cars to the inside, make it 6 now, and 3 to the outside of the racetrack. The 2, the 11, and 12, 3 cars on the outside. We'll see if Brandon Chaburko can get the shove he needs to get around Christian Peterson. Peterson in a perfect spot to steal this championship from Seth the Merchant. Needs to beat him by 4 spots to take the title. The last time by, he was beating him by 7. This time by 4. The Merchant not going to give it up.
No, he's not, and he chose that outside line and did a great job using it and getting himself up to the front of the pack right now. So for Seth the Merchant at 12, this is exactly what he needed to do. Get up to the front so he can be able to see that 6 car. And he sees him now as the top side gets the advantage down the back straightaway. Brandon Chaburko going to clear that bottom lane, trying to get that 11 to Josh Ball to do the same. Not going to happen, though, into turn number 3 of the 11. Going to be stuck to the outside, at least for one more time around here. Chaburko now to the bottom. He'll lead him off of turn 4.
You can see the outside, they're starting to pinch a little bit more, and it gets really interesting coming off at the turn, and you saw a little bit of a close call there with the 2 and the 11. That time by, they take 11 laps to go. Chaburko by 17 1/1000ths of a second with the advantage over the 11 to Josh Ball. Peterson falls to 3rd as he pushes on the inside of the racetrack. He's the 2nd car in line down low. DeMerchant on the outside in 4th is the 2nd car in line on the top. The 6 needs some separation, and he needs it now.
Yeah, he needs separation as they come back into turn number 3. Not going to happen this for the time being. Seth the Merchant, great job with the restrictor plates on the top side. Doing a great job pushing the 11. Josh Ball now into turn number 3. They're fighting back on the outside. Just 2 cars, though, as there's 7 of them. Make it 8 on the bottom side right now. The 2 cars getting it done. I told you that 11 was fast. He's getting the job done, getting to the front. He's going to bring a train now as the 4. Rodney Wofford and Corey Henry and Chris Bassini all jump to the outside now. They'll gang up on the inside into turn 1.
Looks like all 10 drivers that have cleared race cars are going to be in this fight for the win, all with the exception, again, as we mentioned, of Frank Basilio, who has lost touch with the pack. He's 27 seconds behind. Here comes the 4 to the outside. Rodney Wofford going to make a 3rd lane top side. Chaburko tries to take the momentum away. 4 wide. Here comes Seth the Merchant. Up the 2nd to the inside, and there's contact. Everybody going to get tossed out of shape. Hard into the outside wall goes Brandon Chaburko. Caution flag is out. Christian Peterson involved. Seth the Merchant breaks free.
He was involved too, though. Some damage on that 12 car. It all started up towards the front of the field. Some 4 wide action. It started at 12. Decided to make it 4 wide on turn 3 entrance. Seth the Merchant. He ends up getting some damage from that, but ultimately will be the only one pointing in the right direction coming out of that. A great job, though, by the 3 of Ray Rittenauer to come through all that traffic right there as well. Replay goes up on your screen, and I'll tell you what, that's probably going to be the last caution we're going to get here tonight that'll end this thing under the green flag condition. So these guys get one more opportunity to go for it.
Big packs, a little bit of problems lead to big impacts like that. And again, the 2 went to the 4th most lane, and then all eyes were on the 12 up the middle, but really there was just nowhere for Josh Ball to go. And he gets into the 4, and again, at that point, the track basically blocked. Seth the Merchant, he was involved, got a little bit of damage. In fact, very similar to how much damage he got in the first accident. It was actually he and Peterson who got up against each other. The problem for the 6 is he got hit by the 11, the 8, he was in the fence. He got bounced around quite a bit. What this will do, though, is going to set us up for a final restart inside of 5 to go, which means that, well, the number 6 of Peterson may not be in the best condition. He still does have a chance, knowing what could happen in the closing laps at Daytona, especially if you judge a possible result based on some of the wild finishes we've seen here over time. Pit road open this time. Pine DeBurchin is in, so is Christian Peterson. They're the first 2 down.
Yeah, the 6, I believe the 6 still has his reset available as well, too. So he's probably one of the last guys to get that because he was ahead of that caution we had most recently. So this one here, exactly it right there, the reset going for the 6. Christian Peterson will have a clean car as he makes his way off of pit road. The 12, though, continues to sit there, trying to get as much damage as possible. Fix Seth the Merchant, trying to get what he can to salvage a night, maybe hang on to this championship.
So with that, the 6 is now thrust into a position, and the 12 is Seth the Merchant. We talked about him using up that final quick fix, the one and only one, on the second of most recent caution flag. He is on pit road and trying to get his Chevy Camaro fixed up. What Peterson needs to hope for is green through the end so that they can get the biggest run and pull away from the damaged cars behind. If you get a quick yellow, you might not have had enough time to pull time and ground on Seth the Merchant. If you go green, he might be in a position where we saw Frank Basilia, where the damage just does not allow him to keep contact with the drivers at the front of the field. This caution flag inside of the final 10 laps going to give us one final opportunity to step aside and go LSRTV non-stop so you don't miss a moment of the action. And we'll be back in just a moment for the final restart, not only on tonight's action here for the IROC Championship, but also the final restart on the season. You're watching the iSuperSpeedway Race of Champions at iRacing Live at LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
live under the lights at the Daytona International Speedway for the final restart on the night. This time by at a turn 4. The pace car going to duck down, leave the field of 10 remaining drivers on the lead lap, with the championship hanging in the balance with just 5 laps left to go. McEachin, Rittenauer, Ball, and Henry 1, 2, 3, and 4. Christian Peterson, the championship challenger, is 5th, and Seth the Merchant back in 8th position from the top spot. Green flag in the air, just 5 laps left to go from Daytona, and start for the top and the bottom.
Yeah, good job. Both lanes now as they rumble down into turn number 1, slamming their way through the gears. Top side going to have the advantage for just a moment there. The 3 now, Ray Rittenauer decided to did a great job here getting through that wreck, and now has the track position. Come out of here with a good finish on the night. Battle for the championship still almost side by side. Oh, contact, the 6 makes contact with the 8, and that will end it. Caution flag is out, and oh boy.
Countless times tonight, Seth the Merchant has been in an accident, and while he may not have gotten away scot-free in any of them, I don't think, he manages to survive, and that is exactly the case on this one. The 6 challenging up the inside of the racetrack, looked to the middle and just forced the issue. He was a little bit too aggressive. Goes to the middle, you take a look at the replay, catches the right rear, the 11 in front of him. He hooks then around Josh Ball. The 6 involved in the accident. The 12 of Seth the Merchant drives through, and that should secure Seth the Merchant the IROC Season 4 championship under the caution flag, assuming that we do not get an opportunity to restart this race.
Yeah, we're probably not going to get the opportunity here this one, and unfortunately, it's going to look like everything's shaping out here. Seth the Merchant will pull out the victory here. It's just got to ride around under the caution flag for a few laps. But how about the 3? Ray Rittenauer doing a great job here tonight, falling way back in the field early on in this race. Caution flag gets him back up there, able to drive through the second to last caution flag on the night, able to drive through that, get the track position he needed. And look at him now from the top side on that last restart. He'll pull out the victory. That's a great job driving here tonight for Ray Rittenauer, and a great win for him.
This time around, lap 37 going to be completed. We're going to take lap number 38, and it will leave us with 3 laps to go. The field would then know at that point they would receive a 2 to go if an opportunity to go back read would be plausible. Cars are going to trickle down pit road from behind. Thinking about it, it's Josh Ball. He'll stay out to maintain his position. Christian Peterson comes down, which I think all but ensures that we're not going to have an opportunity to go back under green flag racing conditions. So 3 to go that time. By the next time around, we'll take 2 to go if the lights stay on at that point. This race is official, and Ray Rittenauer going to be able to walk away with a win here. Entered 17th. Well, actually started this race back in the number 2 spot, had a very good start to his evening, but in the overall championship entered tonight 12th in the championship, 19 points back, no top 5s, no wins. He's going to pad the stats just a little bit and more than likely launch himself to a top 10 spot when it's all said and done.
Yeah, great job nonetheless by the 3. I mean, you're talking about the best of the best as far as this league goes with the iSuperSpeedway Series drivers, and when you can do that and maybe not pick up a championship, but at least pick up one of the 4 wins during this course of this season, that's got to be pretty awesome, especially Ray Rittenauer kind of struggling this season in the Cup Series, and able to get the job done here tonight in the finale here at Daytona for this IROC Series. And he's done a great job, and he's going to be able to right place, right time here. The caution came out just behind him, and going to allow him to pick up the W here tonight. And Ray Rittenauer, much deserving, long time needed. It's been a while since we've seen that driver in victory lane, and he gets to do it here in the final race of the season.
This time around, Rittenauer going to take the 2 laps to go. Popsicle stick to the air, the last hopes for any drivers to get an opportunity to race this one out. We know that none of them, I think, besides Rittenauer, and I'll probably throw Christian Peterson into that conversation as well. None of these guys hoped that this season would end under caution flag conditions, especially when, again, there was still so much on the line, still to be determined. Lights going to stay on at 2 laps to go. This race is going to be official. There'll be a checker and a yellow alongside each other, at about 4 minutes time when they come around to take the checker and the yellow. But right now, 2 laps to go. Henry rides in second, Shane McEachin third, Seth the Merchant fourth. Again, Ronnie Watford back in the number 5 position. Another driver that could challenge for the championship, Matthew Quick, came in 6 points back. He'll come in 7th position, 3 spots behind Emergent. Obviously not enough to challenge for the win. As well, we had Chris Bassini, Josh Ball, all of those drivers, including obviously Christian Peterson, who ends up 10th position. All of the realistic competitors for the title inside of the top 5 behind Seth the Merchant into the night, finished behind Seth the Merchant at the end of the night. So while he had a couple of scares throughout the evening, the numbers aren't going to really reflect how close it was, because it'll be in upwards of 7, 8, or even 9 points on the official tally. But Seth the Merchant will be able to easily escape, despite at a couple of points in the evening actually being behind in the live points.
Yeah, he involved in a couple of accidents, used his quick fix at the right time, allowed him to maintain at least the track position that he had. And when he had to get to that 6 car, he was able to catch up to him there on one of those restarts. So well-deserving, great season as well, too. And it just amps up what we're going to see here in a little bit, Evan, because this as they come off of turn 4 here, they'll get the white flag. One more lap to get it done, but we got a great championship coming up on our doubleheader here tonight in about an hour, and we got 3. Never before this has ever been seen. 3 teammates are the only ones left in the championship on the Cup Series side of things, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Are you going to help your teammate up to the front, or what are you going to do? I mean, a lot's riding on tonight, and it's going to be fun.
So we're in the final lap here from Daytona. We're going to head down to turn 1. Formalities, going to send Corey Henry in the number 13 machine. Shane McEachin scored in the number 3 spot. Seth the Merchant still 4th. Again, a lot of them with damaged cars. We always talk about how when the caution flag comes out, it does freeze the field, but it does not necessarily guarantee the finishing positions in this race. You still have to make it around without any further incident. To knock on wood, per se, Andy, we've seen times where people have found a little bit of a connection problem on the final lap. With only 12 cars to start the race, though, don't think we're going to have any issues like that for the last half lap. But you always hold your breath as the race leader. You almost want to tell the pace car to speed up and hustle up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thankfully, the 3 doesn't have any damage. You definitely don't want any engine damage, hoping that thing doesn't blow up. I mean, a lot could happen, and being the race leader, even though it is under pace speed, you're absolutely right. You want to make sure, just get this thing over with. I want to make sure I get there to the end, and you don't want any hiccups, no mistakes. Just keep it straight, keep it going, and don't run into anything, basically, and hopefully nobody runs into you. But Ray Rittenauer getting the job done. He's going to get it here. Great job all night. A good recovery halfway through this race as well, too, and he's going to get himself the victory.
Off of the final turn, they come. Ray Rittenauer tucked up behind the pace car. Started second, ran a beautiful race, and he's one of the few drivers who's going to be able to bring home a somewhat presentable race car. Checkered flag. Ray Rittenauer wins IROC 4 race here from Daytona and behind in the number 4 position. And officially across the line going to be scored P3. The 12 of Seth the Merchant is your unofficial IROC Season 4 champion, and he will join the ranks of past champions that include Greg Hooks from the inaugural season and Rod Flagg from the last 2, become the 3rd IROC champion in 4 seasons of competition. Ray Rittenauer is going to go celebrate, and so will Seth the Merchant. We'll catch up with them in just a moment, and then we'll preview the main event still to come just under an hour's time until we drop the green flag on a finale in Florida 400 back here from Daytona for the iSuperSpeedway.com Racing Series Season 6 Championship Night. There's still plenty more action to come tonight right here on LSRTV. We'll step away, come back for the LSRTV post-race show. IROC competition draws to a finish here tonight. Rittenauer, your winner on the race, and Seth the Merchant, your unofficial series champion.
Excited to be here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca this weekend and driving in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Right before this, on Tuesday, we announced that I'll be driving in the Indy 500, in the 100th running of the Indy 500 for KV Racing Technologies, sponsored by Indiana Donor Network, and a campaign that's all about organ donation and honoring those that were organ donors. yeah, excited to be for the month of May that's around the corner and driving the number 25 Driven to Save Lives Chevrolet for KB Racing Technologies. We're actually driving in the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona, which was a long 24 hours. My eyes were a bit sore after that, staring at the screen for a long time. But one of the teammates there has helped me actually design the livery for the car. And really thankful to Michael Peters for all the time he's put into designing what I think is a really cool looking livery. I've actually been using the iAdvanced Motorsport Simulator that Darren Manning set up. Beautiful system, beautiful setup. So it's as realistic as you can get, and be running a few laps to get the visual references down when he hit the track in May 16th. Yeah, I'd encourage everyone to check out and follow the number 25 Driven to Save Lives car in May, and also visit the driventosavelives.org website, where you can find out a little bit more about my story and also Justin's story, which is the reason why this all became. I never even knew about organ donation, never really gave it much thought until last August when he lost Justin, and his heroic act of being an organ donor saved 5 lives. Really got to see the impact that was able to make, and through a very hard time, that was probably the one shining light out of that, was just his act and his selfless act, and just the impact that had, not just in the 5 lives that he saved, but also people since that have similar stories, similar tragedies that happen in their life, and they've been through a very similar thing, and also people reaching out and saying that they became a donor because of that. And that goes beyond saving 5 lives. That could save more than that. So it's just carrying on Justin's legacy, and just really happy to be promoting that foundation.
Welcome back live under the lights from Daytona Beach, Florida, to the virtual Daytona International Speedway, the 4th race on the 4th season of the iSuperSpeedway IROC Championship draws to a close here tonight. Ray Rittenauer, your winner. Before we head trackside with him, let's take a look at your LSRTV full race results tonight from Daytona Beach. Rittenauer gets the W. Shada McKeechin going to be bumped up, scored, finishing second, and Seth the Merchant walks away with the 3rd place result. That is also going to lock him up his first IROC championship, and becomes the 3rd champion in 4 seasons of competition. Ronnie Watford with the Heat 4 tonight. Josh Ball in the top 5 finishing spot. 6th position for Matt Quick. Frank Basilia comes home 7th, the final driver on the lead lap at number 8 position, Chris Bazzini. Corey Henry 1 lap down at 9th, 10th position, Christian Peterson, 11th, and then 12th, and rounding out your field, Brandon Chaburko and Ron Flagg. But Rittenauer breaks through, first top 5 on the season, but his first win as well, and Andy Kessler caught up with the driver of the 3 down in Gatorade Victory Lane.
Down here in Victory Lane, getting a little bubble bath going on right now as Rittenauer celebrates his victory here tonight at Daytona, the final race of the season number 4 for the IROC Race of Champions. And congratulations, Ray. And we know you had to recover there about midway through the race, had yourself kind of out of position, but cautions fell that way. You were able to dodge that second to last caution and got yourself the track position. Here you are in Victory Lane.
Yeah, I made a mistake early. Got my laps back, and luckily made it through that last wreck, and got the win. Not how I wanted to do it, but I'll take it, definitely.
That's been a while seeing you in Victory Lane. So, obviously no championship contention at the end of these 4 races for you, but nonetheless, a victory. To be able to pick up a victory in the IROC Series is hard enough as it is, so to do so, you must be pretty excited about it.
Oh, yeah, it's my actual first win anyway, so this has been my first trophy.
That's even better. There you go.
Yeah.
Finally get it done. Finally get the victory. Obviously, a big night coming up here in just about 45 minutes or so here with the final race of season number 6 in the championship. Obviously, not in it with 3 drivers just remaining. What's going into this race here tonight? I mean, how important for you, your teammates, is this to get a victory to propel yourself into the new season to come?
Well, it's very important for us to get a win here. Just go in, not thinking about points or anything, and try to get it.
Well, you definitely got the start to that here, got the feel of victory lane now, and obviously your teammate as well, too, Matt Quick, having a great job in this race, being up front, running up front, having an opportunity up to the end there to get a victory himself. So
I was trying to get him up there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now you get the opportunity here in the next race pretty much to just work with each other the whole entire race here, and we look forward to seeing that, Ray. But your first victory ever, we'll give you this opportunity. Sponsor shout-outs.
Thank you, Dingleberry Motorsports, Matt Quick. He's a hell of a teammate. Rod Flag for everything that he does. I can't thank him more. And you guys for putting on broadcast every week.
Well, there you have it. First victory in the iSuperSpeedway banner for Ray Rittenauer. He gets it done here in race number 4 of the IROC Series. Congratulations again, Ray.
Thank you.
There you have it, Evan. Not too shabby. Not a bad way to get your first ever victory under this banner, under the Super Speedway banner, and able to get it done in the IROC race nonetheless.
And it was an exciting little battle there at the end, and I'm sure that, again, maybe he would have even enjoyed the last couple of laps to battle it out at the end. But with that being said, he made the move that he needed to on a final restart, started on the outside lane, had the push, had the run, got clear, and was in front when it mattered the most. And Ray Rittenauer is your winner tonight from Daytona International Speedway. That does it for the IROC season. 4 races have come and 4 races have gone. And now we look forward to later on in the evening, Andy, because the main event up next on the board, it is the Season 6 iSuperSpeedway.com Racing Series Championship Night. 3 drivers, Josh Ball, Casey Bellotta, and Andrew Berger, on an even playing field. Bonus points, wins, all of that from the previous about 18 races on the year do not matter to this point. Whoever finishes highest in the running order wins the championship. Seems easy enough. We've seen in past seasons that means you have to win the race sometimes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Evan. I'm bringing race director, series leader, Rod Flag up here with me as well, too. And you're absolutely right. You come down to the final race now. Everybody's tied. Bonus points don't mean nothing. It's basically winner take all coming down to it. But I'll ask Rod this one question. I can't think of in at least recent history where we've had 3 teammates were the last one standing in this one.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, and I hope we're talking about the Super Speedway Championship, because we just came off an IROC race. So I'll clarify very quickly, because I want to congratulate Seth the Merchant on his IROC Championship. It sounds like, but I think that's what we're talking about. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're definitely talking about what's to come here in just a little bit. It's pretty cool to see 3 teammates having an opportunity to get the win. And I mean, you look from the team perspective, I guess, Rod. It's 3 guys. The team's going to win it. There's no doubt about that. But now it's going to be who's going to help who's not going to help each other, teammates or not.
I wouldn't necessarily call them teammates. I've been with these drivers for a long time. Josh Ball, he's a champion. Josh, he races you. It always seems to be he's that pesky Jimmy Johnson type, and that's why his number and the reason he runs those Jimmy Johnson cars is so right, is because he's always there at the end, and he's always in there for a potential win, and he's always a spoiler. So I definitely think having Josh in the hunt again is going to be great, and I wish him luck in potentially getting his second championship. In contrast, you have a person like Andrew Berger, who making his return to the series. He had a 4 or 5 season absence, comes back. He's a 2-time champion. Again, I want to make sure that's emphasized. He's a 2-time champion in the series, and he is coming back, and he's done such a great job as being was, I think, second in points for the chase cutoff, and has positioned himself perfectly. He got a win in the chase, so he's a person who's already a champion as well. And then we have Casey Malone, who he is just a smooth rider. He is someone who never loses his cool. He is a top competitor, and he is very easily could sneak in and win the championship. So, either one of them, all three of them could come tonight and win that championship, and they're all deserving. They're all capable. They've all accomplished a lot this season, and I can't wait to if it's congratulating Josh or Andrew on another championship, and bringing that another trophy home to the fraternity. That's great. If we're welcoming Casey into the fraternity, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a lot of fun here coming up in just mere moments, but we appreciate it, Rod. And, it's been a great last couple of weeks crowning our Truck Series champion 1 week ago. And then, of course, this week, Seth the Merchant getting the job done in the IROC Series. And we got one more to do to get it done here, Season 6 of the iSuperSpeedway Series. And we look forward to it. And we know you're racing. Go out there and steal the win away from us. I'm
definitely going to try. We're taking the 26 Ford tonight in its last ride, so we're I think some of the enthusiastic super speedway fans will understand that I'm going back to the 23 car that I won the championship with in iSuperSpeedway Season 3, and I think that's going to be eventually the Super Speedway Cup Season 8. We're doing the whole combining the leagues and unifying the leagues, and so it's a great opportunity to kind of just reflect as how many seasons we've been together. We've been together since 2012 and raced together since 2012, and this is 2016, 4 years later. So we're really excited, and I can't wait to get back into the 23 car and I got in the chase this season again. I think a lot of people thought I wasn't going to get in the chase. I had a couple season drought, but got in the chase. Just had some bad luck, but I can't wait for the season Super Speedway Cup, and I just appreciate all you guys do, and appreciate you guys letting me talk. So thanks.
Anytime, Rod, and good luck later on, and we'll get all that going on here in just a moment, Evan, but that's it. First half of this doubleheader, it's all done. We're getting set. We got this big race here coming up, long race, endurance race for these drivers. We got a lot of time to make up time if they have problems. They got a long time to sit and wait if they do have problems that knock them out of this race early, but should be a lot of fun, and three very deserving drivers with an opportunity to come out of here as a champion.
In the Truck Series and the IROC Championship, I don't want to call them a prelim, but they have been fun, but we've gotten the earlier businesses out of order, and it's time to go main event racing. That championship coming up next here on LSRTV. But until then, that does it for our coverage of the iSuperSpeedway Race of Champions. Your Season 4 title winner is Seth the Merchant. There are 3 drivers in the running tonight to become and join the elite list of drivers who are champions of the iSuperSpeedway.com Racing Series. Josh Paul, Casey Malone, and Andrew Berger. 3 drivers have a shot at it. You're only going to be able to find out the answer right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. The finale in Florida 400 is next from Daytona. We'll see you then.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.